This is interesting for men. During pregnancy, they gain 14 pounds.
That's not surprising.
And also zombie eating. We're going to find out what that is coming up next.
You're listening to the podcast where we talk about life, sports, family, and everything in between. Welcome to Just Talking Out Loud with your hosts, Ron and Terry.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Just Talking Out Loud. I'm Ron.
And I'm Terry.
And we are happy to have you along with us. And as I continue to try something different all the time, because I'm getting a lot of people that say, Terry, that they can't hear you.
Well, the other microphone was quite high, so maybe me talking down into the microphone will work better.
Well, also, you
Not only had I had
have
a
not
cold,
been feeling good. That's right.
I've had a cold allergies, whatever, for 6 weeks.
Right.
I've
So
had laryngitis for on and off for 2 weeks.
Right.
Yeah.
So hopefully this will work out better for us. And we just picked our fifth, well, we'll say 4.5 bucket of strawberries, which really worked out.
And really, we would have got a lot more, but it rained all day
Yep.
Sunday. And they just kind of, the ones, they went to the ground. And then the ones that were laying on rock or ground or leaves just kind of rotted right on their.
I think Fenn would have had a blast picking them on Sunday
if it wasn't raining all day.
But it was, it was raining on and off all day. Although he didn't feel that great anyway. So.
No, he hasn't been feeling that great this week.
So we were talking earlier about men actually gain 14 pounds during pregnancy.
Well, the women gain baby plus. I know I gained 60.
Yeah, I feel like
my first pregnancy, I gained 60. I think some of it was I had to have some weight to hold the baby up because I was so thin.
I know I'm gaining. Look at this. I need to lose some weight before the big wedding. That's what I need to do.
Well, I'm trying to just stay in my dress. I didn't try it on again yet.
Yeah. We'll have to.
Because I gained almost 10 pounds, so now I'm trying to lose it back off of me.
So a study found that the average weight gain during pregnancy is 14 pounds, and that's by the fathers. 5,000 male survey respondents said they were eating more as their partners' pregnancies progressed. I wonder if the men would have like a certain type of food. What do you call that when you have a craving?
A craving.
That's
like
it.
We had
a craving.
Do you remember what you looked for my first
Oh, my
pregnancy?
gosh. You know what? It's, we're talking 38 years for RJ, 36 for Nathan, right?
Mm-hmm. Do you remember what I craved for any of them?
For some reason, pickles drop in my mind, but I don't think it was pickles. I can't remember. It was ice cream?
I wanted cantaloupe in the middle of the winter for RJ. Chocolate the whole time.
I do remember the chocolate now that you said that.
I used to make the brownies, and I would say, here, put one or two over there. Otherwise, I'd eat them all. Me and RJ would eat them all.
Now that you said that.
I craved chocolate while I was pregnant for Nathan, and I gained more weight with RJ, and I craved good things. Oh, hot dogs, and I never liked hot dogs. I don't.
Yeah, you weren't. You never really a hot dog.
And I went over to Shorty's and got a hot dog for lunch one day, and the one of the girls sitting there said, "I've never seen you eat a hot dog. Are you pregnant?" And I just started laughing. She said, "You are pregnant, aren't you?" I said, "I think so."
Yeah, I remember the chocolate now that you said that. I don't know why. I guess pickles, because pickles always seem like that's the thing that, most people.
I wanted cantaloupe so bad, and it was the middle of winter. And
I do remember trying to find you a cantaloupe.
We couldn't find a ripe one.
Yeah. So they said that 5,000 males did the survey, and the reasons: eating out more frequently before the baby comes, 42%. The increased availability of snacks around the house, 41%. And the desire to make their partner feel better about her own weight. So if she's gaining weight.
It doesn't say how much the woman gained?
Well, not really. It just says being served larger portions, so they're eating a lot more. Apparently by a hungry mom-to-be, 20%. But it doesn't say, I don't know, what is the normal.
You didn't gain any weight with mine, did you?
I don't know. I didn't sit down to look at it.
I know I gained like 62 or more pounds with the first one.
I'm not really sure if I did or not.
And it's not a good idea because the delivery didn't go real well. It's like when you gain too much all at once.
Yeah, my mic is falling. Yours is a cheap one. It's the cheap one. Mine is a more expensive one. This
Mine's
one.
staying up better.
And it is not. It just is drooped just like the rest of me. Just keeps on drooping.
Hey,
Story of my life.
Join the crowd.
The droopingness. So I just wonder if you out there remember pregnancy. What did you crave? Let us know in the comments. It'd be nice to.
Trying to think with Zachary if I craved anything. I had morning sickness every morning, and I found if I didn't eat after 6 o'clock, I didn't have it so bad.
If you didn't eat after
6 o'clock
6
in
o'clock?
the evening, then I didn't have morning sickness. Like, don't snack at night, and then I wouldn't be so sick in the morning.
Okay, all right,
Which helped me not gain as much weight, too.
right. Huh. I'm just trying to remember those days because we're actually talking, what, 38 years ago,
Yeah.
which is
Been a while.
in itself is unbelievable. It's that we're talking that long ago.
We
It's
are
just
the
amazing.
old folks, Ron.
We are the old folks
Sad,
for sure.
but it's true.
Was there a restaurant item that you wanted?
I can't remember.
Was there everything we had to
Just
go get?
remember we went to every grocery store for cantaloupe. None of them were ripe. The few that we found were so green they weren't going to ripen by the time the craving was over.
Yeah, the cantaloupe thing. I do remember the cantaloupe now. You said that. Speaking of eating, a lot of us are doing zombie eating. You know what that is?
No.
Can you guess what zombie eating is?
Half asleep eating?
No, not really. It has to do with our phone. 88% of adults dine while staring at a screen. So it's basically like watching our podcast while you're eating, which I hope you do.
I don't.
No, I know.
When I'm done eating, I pick up the phone.
So that's what's happening. We've actually entered, and that's what happens. You've seen people. We talked about this before on the podcast. You see people at restaurants, and the whole family is sitting around
With their phone out.
with their phone
on the table.
on the table. There's no communication. There's no talking. It's sad, actually. A new survey, 88% said they can't get through a meal without staring at some type of screen. Could be TV, phones, laptops. We're so glued to our devices that they've actually let meals go cold because they're watching whatever it is they're watching on their phones.
When I know our grandkids have their tablets out for mealtime.
They do, and it's probably not a great, but they do eat. So I guess they're kind of a zombie, but they do eat. Because this is saying that some people forget to eat.
That would be my mother.
The average American has 5 screen-free meals a week. And many are now eating at their desk, in bed, or even on the floor. Rarely at the kitchen table anymore. It's a reflection of this hyper-connected culture that we're
And I
into.
don't see it's connected. I'm sorry, I don't feel connected. I mean, I do read Facebook every once in a while, and if I see someone ask for prayer or something like that, I try to follow through on that. But I don't feel connected from just a like on the Facebook or whatever. You know what I mean?
Right. And when
I still didn't talk to you for 2 years,
Yeah, I just saw this, because when I'd said the average American only has 5 screen-free meals a week. So think about that. So you're saying 3 meals a day, 7 days
a week.
That's 21. So only 5 of those are screen-free. And then that's the other thing. We're not sitting around the kitchen table anymore.
We always ate at the kitchen table.
We are constantly.
But even back in our day when we were raising kids, a lot of families did not sit at the kitchen table. And I always said we wouldn't watch TV, but when SpongeBob came out, we watched SpongeBob
we
during
did.
dinner for
Yes,
I
we
don't know
did.
how. Hey, the kids sat there, they
we
ate,
did.
and it was funny, and
Yep.
We chuckled and
We did, and we did chuckle. We did all eat together. I mean, at least we ate together. I guess you got to take the good with the bad, right? I mean, if
yeah,
you're
and we
eating
discussed
together,
school things.
then
And
that's a good thing.
I remember telling the kids, "Oh, that never happened at school." And then I worked at the school, and I thought, "Oh, even worse than that happens."
Yeah. So I mean, if you're eating around, I guess if you're eating around, if you can converse with I think I'd rather watch the TV so we can all converse rather than each individual have their phone.
Yeah, because then you can discuss what's going on.
Although if you're watching the same thing on your phone, I guess, but usually that's
Not true.
not happening because we're not into TikTok, so that's not, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I might have to throw this dang thing away. Okay, what is a strange hobby? Another talking point. Do you have a hobby that you might consider strange? I can't think of anything.
No, I don't. I'm a little bit too normal, I think.
I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to think of something, a hobby
Your
that.
music is a hobby, but
Yeah,
a
but
lot
that's
of
not
people have-
strange.
No.
And as a matter of fact, today I just I gave away
All of them. You didn't
all
even
of
keep
my
your favorite,
childhood 45s.
and you didn't even keep your favorite 5 or 10,
No,
like the
because
first one you bought or anything.
I don't even know what that is.
Oh, okay.
Because I started collecting 45s when I was probably,
Fifth grade, fourth grade, fifth grade.
what's 10? 8, 9, 10, somewhere in there.
10 is right around fifth, sixth grade.
And I would pretend I was a disc jockey. I always wanted to be a disc jockey. So I'd get up. My dad made me a little mic stand. He worked at a machine shop. And we got like a cheapo mic that we could find. And we'd connect it. He got me the connector and everything.
And you got a stereo, a turntable.
Well, I had bought the stereo by working. I cut grass. And my poor brother. But I always wanted to do the morning show, which doesn't help my brother.
So you get
Which
up
kind
at
of
6 o'clock in
explains-
the morning all summer long and do the morning
And-
show for your brother
Yeah,
while he tried to
and
sleep.
my poor brother, I don't know how he did it. I don't know how he put up with it, but he did.
You're still good friends, so hey.
And so anyway, I had said on the podcast, I'm trying to think how long ago that was. I had said it's like it's time, and so Danielle, who watches, and thank you Danielle for watching, but her boyfriend, I want to say Brandon. I hope I'm right, Danielle, because I sometimes forget names. I think he's the one that is really into music, and I didn't want to throw him away. Because there's just too much.
He spent
it
his
means too
$5
much.
allowance when we first got married. He was still spending $5 a week on them.
I was still buying. I think up until 80.
$9.90.
Yeah, probably. But at that time, I was already doing some radio
Yeah.
because I was in Uniontown. At that time, it was called WPQR, and then I was in West Virginia. I can't remember the call letters for that one. And then I had
You were
all
JPA for a
JPA
little while.
was the final
And
one.
that's when I needed back surgery, and you just
I worked there for several years. They actually offered me a job. I was supposed to do the
but it
afternoons.
didn't pay enough,
It just wasn't going to work out because I was making more at Millcraft.
and I was pregnant.
And you were pregnant.
And
Well,
they had
actually,
no
I had 2
insurance
kids.
for me.
I had both kids at
Oh,
that
you had
time.
both kids by then?
Yeah, we were, because this was at 89. So Nathan was already born. So, yeah, they had offered me the afternoon job, which I appreciated. I thought it was great that they thought that much of me too.
Mm-hmm.
But it just didn't work out. And then I was trying to think when I started getting that itch again. It was in 2012. I found out we could do online.
Yeah.
And so I did online radio stuff.
And then you've shut it down, once or
I
twice?
shut it down once. It was in 20.
Because we thought the licensing was going to
Right.
go way up.
There was a big deal about
We're like,
licensing.
this is a hobby. We're not spending thousands of dollars
Yeah.
on licensing a year.
So I shut it down, and then I got the bug again. And I reopened it in 2017, 18, I think.
Something like that.
And Live 365 is where my station is called FM 7 The Drive. It's a classic rock
It's
station.
not on the other one anymore. Tune in.
Well, it is, but I'm saying it's
Live
the
365.
main program, the main
Is on
runs through Live 65, and then you can't access this
Live
from other, but that's the main, because there's an app you can get on your phone, Live 365.
I have both TuneIn and Live 365 on mine because I used to listen to it at work.
Yes, and also you can, if you
Because I like it because some of Zachary's music is on.
can also
And
listen to it
Zachary
on your smart
has not
speaker.
done any new music in the
I
last
know.
3 or 4
I know
years
he
because
hasn't.
he's coaching and doing this and that. I think he should take a break and do some new music.
But anyway, so these 45s, I started thinking about it yesterday before I got them all out. I couldn't believe how many I had. I couldn't even lift the box. It was so heavy. But so I met Danielle today. We put him in the back of her car, and she says he's just going to be. She's going through them, and she's already said, Jeff Healy. I don't, so I know it's going to the right person. I know
Okay,
the right
that's good.
person's gonna, because he has what I used to do, the vinyl cleaner. You put them in a certain. I kept them all in the sleeve. They weren't just loosey goosey like Terry's were in that one container you had,
Yeah.
all scratched up. So I was very particular about them because I want them to sound as best you can. But so I know they went to the right place, and I hope that he enjoys them, and I hope it's the right type of music. He likes all kinds of music,
So that
because we're talking early 70s, 80s,
into the 90s,
maybe
into
a
the
little
early and 90s.
into the 90s, maybe. But anyway, it brought back a lot of memories for me. But I don't have I do have a record player, but I don't use it.
Is it in the attic?
It's in the attic, which is probably not a great thing.
Yeah,
Probably should
maybe.
sell it too. It's a Techniques. It's a really nice one.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody will want to buy it on the. I got a bunch of stuff I need to sell.
Yeah, we got lots of stuff we could.
If you're starting a band and you need another board, I got one of those too. It's a really nice. It's a Soundcraft. It's a nice one.
Sam's talked about it.
Yeah, it's nice. Anyway, so strange hobby. I don't know. I guess the hobby would be strange if you're 8 years old and you're getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning. Then I guess that might be a strange hobby. Waking up your brother.
Yeah, with the music.
Although I didn't play it loud. You know what I mean? And then I tried to tape myself and see what I listened to. And that's probably why my voice, because I wanted to sound different. I didn't like the sound of my voice, but actually it's really not that bad.
Yeah.
If it puts you to sleep, then I'm doing something good for somebody.
Yeah.
Right? So anyway, here's some of the strange things that people say their hobby they have. Sometimes when I'm bored, I will Google bars and restaurants in other countries, look at their menu, and try to decide what I would get to eat or drink if I was there.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of, I don't know if I say strange, but if it keeps you entertained, then I guess it's a good hobby. If you have a strange hobby, let us know what it is. I collect rubber ducks. They are getting up to 200. Not me. I'm not collecting rubber ducks.
That's a lot of rubber ducks.
That's a lot of rubber ducks. One person collects fine pipe tobacco.
That's weird.
And it's a little weird.
And they don't smoke it?
It doesn't say.
Well, how could
maybe
you
they
collect
just
it if
taste
it's-
it. Like, they
that one
put it
was
in their
really
pipe
good.
and then mark it and put it on their shelf.
Well, because if you liked it, then you'd want more, wouldn't you?
Well, maybe buy one for like Lauren buys a book for the shelf and a book to read.
She doesn't buy a book for the
Oh, I thought
shelf.
she did.
No, she
Because she don't like the creases or nothing.
She just does not crease her books
Okay.
enough. If
Oh, I
someone
thought she-
creases her books, if she lends it out to you, she'll tell you, don't you fold the pages, don't you crease the book. You have a bookmark, and don't you bend it real hard either. She doesn't want to
There you
break the
go.
binding or nothing.
I was wrong here. I'm thinking
They look like brand new because she's very careful about it.
she is very, very good about her books.
And her kids have gotten them down off the shelf, and I'm like, that's mommy's.
Yeah, that's probably not a good thing. Another strange hobby, a person goes to the courthouse and watches the trials.
That would be different.
I think it'd
You
be
can do
interesting,
that
but I
on
don't have
TV
time.
now too, though.
So they do
You
have a
can
court
do the
TV.
federal,
they do have a
trials
court
and stuff.
They do have court TV. I tie knots. It's pretty relaxing.
See, I tie knots doing jewelry. I've done the
Like, do they tie
twine
their
jewelry
partner
with
up
knots.
with knots?
I don't know.
That's a whole different
I've
thing,
done
isn't it?
twine
That's called
jewelry with
bondage.
knots. And
That's a strange
yes,
hobby,
and
right?
I've done, yeah,
But that's totally off.
but a totally
So
different
bondage,
hobby.
that would be a really
And there's
different.
probably a lot of people in that, but it's a closet thing.
It's a bedroom
Literally,
or closet.
literally.
Like,
Yeah.
what was that movie?
I don't
Did you watch
know.
50 Shades?
Of
Well, we didn't watch the movie.
movie. I
Did
read
we?
the books.
Oh, you read the books. Best summer of my life. Just let you
I don't think so.
know. I do. I remember. I miss those days. So bondage, strange, right? Strange hobby.
I'm sure a lot of people do it.
But still, I mean, it would be strange.
Well, to some people,
Well, I mean, I guess I shouldn't say strange. I mean, everybody has their
quirks.
kinks or their quirks, like to try something different.
Mhm.
Maybe, spruce up their love life. A
Yeah.
little smack on the bottom to rev things up. Sure. Is it getting hot in here?
No,
All right. Just thought I'd You sure you're not getting a little steamy?
and maybe you are working yourself up over there, babe.
We're going to talk about little wins and also sharks. Now, we're heading to the beach, and this might seem strange, but they actually did a survey and they found that sharks are likely to attack on a certain day. Can you tell me, Terry, what
A day of the week?
Yes. No. Well, yeah, a day of the week.
Saturday or Sunday?
Which one? You got to pick one.
Sunday.
Sunday is right. The most likely to be attacked by a shark is on a Sunday.
Because everyone who lives close enough, if it's nice enough, is going to travel there.
You are in less than 6 feet of water and during a new moon. So there's a lot of stuff that kind of goes into
Okay.
it. It's not just a Sunday, but there's a new moon. You're in 6 feet of water. This is according to the University of Florida. But sharks are not just weekend warriors. They say it's human leisure. Just like you said, habits lead to the fewest number of human encounters on Wednesdays, but the highest on Sundays. So, like if you live in Florida, you probably work during the week. So when you're going to go to the beach, probably a Saturday or a Sunday. Now, there's also, they've learned, that sharks are most likely to attack people wearing a certain color.
Red or orange?
You would think that, but no. You like these two colors together, especially on a house. You think it's classy.
Black and white.
Black and white. Followed by black and yellow bathing suits. So just letting you know, if you're wearing black and white or black and yellow, maybe they're not Steeler fans. I don't know. Sharks don't like Steeler fans. But so it's Sundays. If it's Sunday and a new moon and you're in 6 feet of water,
They can
and
probably
you're
see
wearing,
the contrast of those colors.
that's what it says. Their ability is to see contrast.
Mhm.
What do you read? How are you doing that? That's pretty good. You actually,
No,
did you see that? You don't have your glasses on.
I don't have my glasses on. I forgot to put them on.
Have you
before I
done
came
the
down here.
podcast without glasses?
I don't know if I have.
Guess we'll have to
This'll
go
be
back and
different.
see.
Yeah,
Do you like Terry with the glasses or without the glasses?
as long as I don't have to read something. If you hand me something, say read that, I'll be
Well,
going like this.
the thing it is, Terry, you have to actually help
What?
contribute a little bit. If you want to read, like have some paper ready.
Whatever.
Yeah, that's what I figured. So we're in shorts today. It's actually warm, which is kind of nice.
It wasn't that warm.
I thought it was not. Come on.
It was not warm enough to go to the
warmer
pool.
than it has been, though.
Yeah,
Well,
but
yeah,
it's
maybe
warmer
not.
than it has been because we had two pool days and then it's been raining ever since.
Okay, so little wins. A survey revealed the small everyday moments which kind of spark joy. Have you ever done something? This seems weird. I'm holding this mic up. This will be the last day for this setup. I'm ready for a new setup. I'm going to flip a coin. I should do that.
We gotta.
If you're let's skip the little wins and do this instead. Then we'll do the little wins.
Okay.
If you're not sure what to do, like say you're having trouble deciding whether you're supposed to move, get a new job, it says here there's one thing you can do to help yourself. Flip a coin. If it's time to quit your job, but you can't go through it, flip a coin. What do you think? So
Well,
I'm thinking,
why-
let's flip a coin.
I never
I don't have
believed
a
in quitting
coin.
your job unless you have another one.
So I'm thinking about, should I quit the
never,
podcast?
I never
we
believed in
done? I'm gonna
quitting
flip a
something
coin.
unless you have another one. Now that's a hobby, though. You're not relying on that for income.
Well, no, I have no
like
income.
I wouldn't. If you came home and said I quit my job today without another job when my kids were little, I would have flipped out on you. Don't you think I would have?
Well, I think that would have been.
I bet I'm going to get a job, and guess what? Hit the road.
Hit the road, Jack, and don't come back.
If you don't have a
know
job
the rest of that song?
within a very short time, you know what?
Yeah. Maybe I want to retire.
Well, you can retire. That's different. You got another source of income.
Yeah, but I can't retire because
I did
medical.
it. But I did it, and I
No,
still
that's
have a
fine.
source of income with my retirement.
Yes, you do. Yeah, mine.
We also have something.
Well,
going in
yeah, you have a little
savings
bit,
from
but-
mine, and I
No, you do.
rolled over a rollover that I'm
Yeah.
not touching right now.
No, you do. So anyway, do you think it's a good idea to flip a coin though? And if you can't make that decision,
No,
like, is it time to move? Flip a coin,
no,
or use a magic 8-ball?
no.
Shake that. We should get a magic 8-ball.
I don't think that.
We have
I
one?
think that you should really think about things like that, and it depends on how big of a life thing it is.
Yeah.
Should I share this cake with my partner? You could flip a cake on, flip a coin on that.
What on the yeah.
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 Should I share something? Should I? But on big things like jobs, on
It's a simple coin flip not only helps people make big choices, but they're happier when the coin tells them to make such a huge life change. A study found that participants who
they're
go
dumb.
through with their coin flip choices were living happier lives 6 months later. The study presented subjects
that
with
surprises
a number of
me.
questions such as, should I quit my job? Should I propose? Can you imagine? Honey, I flipped a
don't-
coin.
And
We're getting
guess
married.
What? We're getting married. I'm going to propose to you. I would not want to be proposed told that. I'm
Oh,
sorry. If
guess
you're not marrying me for the right reasons, hit the road, fella.
I guess I better not tell you that's how we got married. I flipped a coin.
Yeah, I know that's not how we got married.
No, it was Dairy Queen parking lot. That's how we got
and you went and got a ring just because.
of your tongue.
No,
French kissing.
because your sister told your mother that we looked at rings in the thing, and we really weren't looking. We were just
We were looking. I mean,
we
you're
were
looking at
but
it.
we weren't like looking to buy. I wasn't looking for.
No,
I was just wanting to show you what kind I liked and what kind I didn't. But I wasn't even thinking of an engagement. And you, because they made such a big deal of it, you went and bought the closest one to what I said I liked, and
Well, when you're thinking with
it
both
was a
heads
rebellious
at the same time.
teenager.
I was thinking with both heads at the same time.
Yeah, and you were a
And
rebellious teenager.
one of the
'cause
heads
you'd
was a
never
little
crossed your
more-
mother in your life, I don't think,
Was a little more persuasive than
than
the
the
other.
other. Yes, I would say that.
And you didn't help at all. You were right there, egging it on.
I was not.
Oh, come on.
I didn't
Miss,
go with
I'm
you when
innocent.
you bought it.
I'm not talking about the ring.
Oh, I mean,
My gosh. Forget the ring. I'm way past the ring. Anyway, it says, should I quit my job? I thought, should I propose is a really,
yeah.
that's
a
a tough one to, you flip a coin.
most-
I guess I'm getting married today. Because
Because
we're meant to be.
I'm proposing today because we're meant today
We're
to be
meant
because
to be.
the coin came out heads.
Yes.
Oh, if it would have come out tails, you wouldn't be proposing to me?
No.
I don't
No.
I don't know how many people would say yes to that one.
They had a third party watching the results. Participants were surveyed 2 months, 6 months after their consequential coin flip. And a lot of people tended to favor sticking with the status quo after 2 months. Their attitudes changed by the 6-month mark. Participants in the third parties found that the coin flips telling subjects to make a major change ended up making them much happier half a year later. But I don't know if I just don't think I could do it just by flipping a coin. There's no way I could do that.
I mean, most of the time with jobs and stuff like that, does it pay more? Is it going to be more rewarding? Is it something I'm going to like
Yeah.
better? Why would you flip a coin and take a job that you know you're going to hate?
Right.
Oh, do I want to like you hate? I don't know a certain thing. You hate sitting in a desk all day, and then you flip a coin and take a desk job because the coin told you to, and you hate sitting at a computer all day. You
You
know what I
really have
mean?
some strong feelings about this coin.
Yeah, I did. I do.
Didn't realize this was going to be this. We used up our time.
Did we?
Yeah. How about we save the little wins for? Or do you want to do it now?
No, we could go ahead with it. What are little wins?
Flipping a coin and finding out you're going to get married. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
So like little wins. What I'm saying is like
To
say
me, a little win is Ben shares his toys today.
right. Exactly. That is a little win. Exactly. The survey revealed
Beckett doesn't hit his brother today.
small, everyday moments, which might spark joy.
Which reminds
Like,
me, Lauren sent some snaps we need to look
okay,
at.
we got to look at snaps. Lord, thanks for bringing that up right in the middle of the podcast.
Yeah.
All right. So getting into fresh sheets at the end of the day, that is
A little win.
when we change the sheets and you
it
get in those
smells
sheets,
good. They smell fresh and
you know,
yeah.
you get that your naked body in there and you just
yeah,
stink it all up. But it's just there's something fresh
about that.
about it, isn't there?
Yes, that's a good.
I can
one.
see that's a win. Traffic lights turning green as you approach them, that's a win.
Oh, was it
Especially when
yesterday
you're in Pittsburgh
on the way home?
And you hit all the green lights.
I got off the
Going through
freeway
Green Tree.
here, and I hit all. I went like
That's
I
a
didn't even have
huge
to stop
win.
at the stop signs, and I came up to Houston, and I turned. All the traffic lights were green. It was great.
Sorry, I didn't mean to show you my foot. That wasn't exactly what I wanted to do.
Oh well.
Got to cover those things.
Okay, what's another little? One?
Getting a compliment from a stranger.
Unless it's offhanded.
Yeah, I was gonna say, man, your ass looks great.
Yeah, I don't think I weirdo. Thinking.
Oh, you're not gonna tell me that you wouldn't be like a little bit. First, you'd think, yeah, weird, but then later on in the car, you're like,
And it's a way it's said too. Oh, I like your pants, or oh, your pants. Yeah, I
okay.
like
So
your
if you,
pants. You know what I
if
mean?
someone was to say, I like
if
your
a man
pants,
looks at me and says, "Oh, I like your pants,"
so he comes up to you and he's eyeing up your
then
whole.
I'm like, "You're a weirdo. Stay away from me." But if a woman comes up and says, "Oh, where'd you get your pants? I really like them," you know what I mean? That's different. I don't know. It's
How
in
do
the
you know
tone.
it's different? Maybe it's.
It's in the tone. She might want a pair like that, you know. But But when it's an offhanded and it's said in the wrong way, it's not really good to get it from a
So
stranger.
if I say
'cause
your
you're
butt
like,
looks really good in those pants,
but you're not a stranger.
sometimes I feel like.
You're so bad.
How about getting an extra hour in bed? I wouldn't know what that's like.
You don't know how to do that
Well, I do, but
unless it's for a purpose.
yeah, like I said, I don't know what that's like. We're always running constantly, but I can see where.
But you get up. If you're not in
I
the
can't
bed
lay
for
there.
a purpose, you
I
don't
can't
lay
there.
there.
No.
I lay and read every morning.
Putting comfy clothes on at the end of a busy day.
I don't really have that problem anymore because I wear things like
You wear
this
comfy
to watch
clothes all day
kids.
long.
Yeah, I have, comfy clothes to go watch kids because I'm up and down off the floor and I'm holding 24 pounds on my hip and,
These are little wins that, like small everyday moments that spark a little joy. Like this one, waking up thinking it's a weekday, but realizing
it's
the weekend.
That's always nice
That is nice.
because then you don't have to turn the light on at 5 in the morning.
Here's one you'll like. Fitting into a pair of jeans you've forgotten about.
That would be nice.
Just to fit into some jeans.
Well, when I lost weight, I went through a whole pile of jeans to see which ones, would fit me now.
See if you think this is a little win. Getting a new recipe right. You just throw stuff in anyway, though.
Yeah.
Because you kind of like.
If we really like it, though, oh, this is something we can do. Because you and I never liked salmon over COVID.
Right, it's true.
Zachary talked me into buying the salmon. It was fresh salmon. And here's a salsa for it, and it's got avocado in. Zachary hates this salsa, but me and Ron love it. It's got onions and tomatoes and avocados, and it's kind of creamy, and you put it on fish, and we're not big fish eaters. And guess what? We like it.
Yeah, we do. How about keeping a plant alive? This is good for you.
Yeah, I've kept
done
them
pretty good.
alive so much that
You've
there's
done pretty
2
good.
that are growing wildly, and I think I'm gonna have to chop at them.
Oh, yeah, that one plant. I should take a picture of it and show you what it looks like. It's like an alien plant. Parallel parking on a first attempt. Oh, I hate parallel parking.
You don't have to do it very often anymore.
I know, but I hate doing it when I do have to do it. I
You're
try to
better at
avoid
it
it.
than I am, though.
I try to
aren't you?
avoid it. I don't know about that.
I don't like twisting anymore to turn and look behind me. And now with the cameras in your car, I don't know if you have to do that anymore.
Sometimes, depending on the car, it'll do it itself.
Oh, I know that one that Marcus was in.
Yeah, it was.
Where was he in?
He
He
was
was
in
in
Denver.
California.
I thought he was in Denver.
Oh, I don't know, wherever he was. He got in a self-driving taxi. You just
Mhm.
get in and you put your
You sit
where
in the
you have
back
to
seat
go.
and it takes off.
I need to go to this building, and and it takes you there and drops you off.
Waking
driver.
up to a heartwarming text.
That would be nice. Yeah.
Or how about waking up just before your alarm? I do that all the time. We don't even set an
You
alarm.
know,
I am an alarm.
yeah.
You tell me you want up at 3 o'clock, I'm up at 1. It's ridiculous. How about when your child sleeps through the night? Boy, I can see that being a big win.
Yeah,
If
some
you had-
people's
if you had-
got better sleeping children than
I could
other.
see that being a huge
RJ
win.
never slept. RJ
I could
4
see that being a
hours.
big
And
win.
you know what, though? When he was around 2, he quit kidding mommy up. He would just go to the potty
Mhm.
and go back. Well, he was about 2.5, I guess, 2.5,
Right.
3. He would just, once he was potty trained, he would get up if he had to potty. He would go potty, and he would crawl back in his bed, or he would turn on the TV. And I always had PBS on, so
Yeah. So
yeah.
those are some any other wins that you
There are a lot
can
of
think
little
of?
wins. Just waking up without a sore throat's a good little win for me.
Maybe someday.
Yeah, allergy season going by without too much. This year has not been that. This year is all
Mine's
the
been
rain and the
horrible.
cold. It's been horrible.
Horrible.
Trying to think of other little wins.
Getting a podcast
Oh,
done.
I know little wins when you call me and say you're bringing home dinner.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you do like that. That's a
that's
win.
a nice little
That's
win.
a win-win.
Especially when I'm in Pittsburgh and you do that. I'm like, oh, that's nice. I don't
Yeah,
have
it's
to
like,
go home.
phew.
I go home, throw something in the microwave, and we got dinner.
Don't have to do
Yeah.
it, for sure.
Mhm.
Well, thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate it. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook or X at Just Talking Out Loud. Also, every Monday, we have a new episode. So please,
Subscribe.
should not have to do this. You should just
Subscribe,
jump right in.
like, and share.
Thank you. And what else can you do? You can hit that thumbs up button.
Oh, isn't that like?
Kind of, but you hit the
Like
button. I don't know. I maybe just
It'll be
subscribe.
right about
Right there.
here. Yeah.
Right there.
It'll be right about there. Subscribe, like, and share.
I could put it right there.
Better watch where you put it.
Maybe I'll practice my knots later.
Yeah, right.
Thanks so much for listening. What else? Is there anything else I need to talk about? Oh, don't forget to, you can text us, leave comments. We'd love to hear about your maybe strange hobby. Also, what did you eat that was kind of weird while you were pregnant?
And
Did the man gain weight?
And what's your little win for the day?
And what is a little win?
And maybe you
for
have a
you?
strange little win. That would be nice.
Yes.
Like if
even
someone
it's
ever
strange.
had a real
Hobby,
strange
strange
one,
hobby.
like,
You said that.
I mean,
Yeah. So thanks so much for listening. We are out.
have a great week. Now I was going to mix up some ice.